Hello everyone, it's Lottie from Cancer is a Lifestyle. So today we have the letter B for the movie and Stitch. Now everyone is already on letter E, I think, and F, who knows. I am only on B because I am just so far behind on this stuff. I've had a really hard time this time trying to find a movie. Not that there aren't a lot of B movies or that I don't have a lot of B movies. In fact, there's a lot of movies that I've wanted to see for a long time, but none of them, first of all, began with B. And second, I wasn't in the mood for a lot of the movies that I was seeing that began with the letter B. I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes, when I come home from work, I just want to like unwind. I don't want to be like um, watching something that I have to like super follow every detail and like I just want to like just aimlessly watch a movie that if I go to the bathroom or go get a drink, I am not going to miss anything major. And I just wanted an easygoing kind of movie, and it was kind of hard to find something that did not have a deep plot or a thriller that you had to like hang on to your seat to and not miss a scene, or you're going to not know what's going on. So I finally found one, and it's called Bless the Broken Road. And as you can tell by the title, that it is a faith-based movie. It is only about an hour long. Excuse me. Let me get the detail for you. I have never seen this before. I've never even really seen it advertised, but I found it on Netflix. Now, it is a let me see when was it made. It was released in September of 2018, and it is kind of loosely based on the song "Bless the Broken Road." Um, it is a story of a young woman who becomes widowed at a very young age with a young daughter, and her husband actually dies serving in Afghanistan. So that is actually the opening scene, where the opening scene before even the title comes on. She's a worship leader in church, and she's practicing with the choir, and they're singing, and here comes the two military officers to let her know, and that's how it opens up the scene. And I know what you're going to say, that, well, I thought you didn't want anything heavy. It's not to me, movies like this are like Hallmark movies, where they're encouraging, they're uplifting. Yes, there is a trial. Yes, there is something that they're going through, an ordeal. But you know what? There's a moral to the story. Do you guys remember, if you were my age, like I'm 56, and I remember being in school, and almost all the stories that we read in school had like a moral to the story. There was a moral ending. And this is kind of what it's like. Now, you may not be believing in the same faith that I believe in, but I think movies like these are a huge encouragement to us to, that we can persevere. We can still come out even through our darkest days. And another thing that I really liked about this movie, and I'm going to tell you that, here she is, she's struggling, because the next scene that opens is 2 years later, and it kind of tells all her downward spiral from as she began her life as a widow with a young child, and the financial side, the strain, and her faith is tested, and just her friends and everyone, how her life has been affected by that. It's a great story for a lot of people who are going through difficult times. One thing I really liked about this movie was that it showed all the things that happened to her, that can happen, but a lot of times movies sugarcoat things, and the ending is always this, oh yes. Like, for instance, I'm going to give you one scene from there where she has financial problems, where her house is in foreclosure. And anyone else may think, oh yeah, so now there's going to be a miracle, and or she's going to, suddenly get her house and, pay off her debt. But that's not what happens. In the end, she ends up actually losing her home. But why I like that is because there's many things in life that, you know what, they don't turn out quite the way we want them to. And sometimes, you know what, you lose. You lose something that is precious. But then there is actually a light at the end of the tunnel where your life is actually going to be better if you let, you know, if you go through this trial. There is something better coming. Only we don't see that because we can't see past that struggle, if that makes sense to you. So I really enjoyed it. It was only an hour. It was a quick movie. It was a lot of encouragement. I needed something just very light that I knew there was going to be a positive ending. Maybe not the kind that you may want, you know, but then when do we ever kind of have an ending in our own lives the way we want them to, you know? That would be kind of boring if we got everything we wanted. But anyway, so I enjoyed it. It was directed by Harold Crunk. Like I said, I'm not familiar with this movie, although I did recognize a lot of the actors that were there. It was actually, some of the actors were, let me see, let me find who were the, I'm trying to find the, I think it was, oh my goodness, I can't even, Jennifer Dornbush and Matthew Taylford. I'm not familiar with them, but I know that there was one or two actors that I've seen in the faith-based movies that they always are in. But anyway, so as you know that I have been, for my movie and my stitch, I am doing my homeless mats. I have to say that I have gone and done quite a bit. It seems like my video is lagging a little bit. Hold on a second. I think because the weather is just so gloomy and it's rainy and the weather is, I hope it turns out okay. But anyway, I did quite a bit on my homeless mat. If you remember from last time, it was right where you see the red. That's all that we did, was that part from the bottom to the red. And look how much I did this time around. And it is quite wide. I'm going to show you because I like to make my homeless mats different sizes. I don't stick to a size like if you ever look up what the homeless mats are like, the dimensions and all. People come in different sizes, okay? And to me, a homeless person is always wearing extra clothing, so I want them to be able to comfortably be on top of that mat. But I do different sizes. I do narrow, longer, shorter. But anyway, I have to say that this is probably the only hook that I like to use in my homeless mats, and this is a 10 millimeter. Now, I have other ones. I don't enjoy any of the other ones. I have a hard time with them. I don't feel like it glides as well as this one does. Now, this one, I have never seen these. These are like plastic. I have inherited a whole bunch of these from in different sizes from when I got, you know, a family member that passed away, and I ended up getting all her yarn and supplies and things. So this was in here. I have looked around for something similar. It is, I should say, like plastic, but it's almost like a rubber practice, if it makes any sense. But anyway, I have tried to look for different hooks because I do like this one. If you remember, my hand hurts. This movie was the perfect length because my hand started hurting and I had to put it down, and so thank goodness it was only an hour and I had no problem with it. I am looking around. I have seen some bamboo ones. The only thing is that it's hard to find that appropriate hook size for chunky yarn. I find that either they're super big or they're just too small for what I'd like to use for the homeless mats. Now this is, like I said, 10 millimeter. I do like this one. It's hard to find one that is right because of the plastic of the bags, and it kind of sometimes snags on the, I don't want to say, but it doesn't glide as smoothly on the hook. So I am looking around for another one because I only have one. I like to have extras, you know. And the other thing, and I'll let you all go, I got another donation of plastic bags. So that is something else that I can be doing while I'm watching. I can be cutting and prepping the plastic strips into Plarn. So that. Now, my C movie that I'm going to be doing is a movie that I've always wanted to see. I do have a problem in finding it on Netflix. So I'm not sure. I might have to go to Plan B. But anyway, what is the last good movie that you have seen that you may want to recommend to other people? All the movies that I am so far that I have said, as I know it's only 2, but I'm using Netflix. I'm using my PBS channel, and I am also using my stash of videos that I still have. So that's what I'm using for that. I'm not using anything other. I never thought of using YouTube, although a lot of people have. But anyway, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. It's a little chilly. It looks like it's raining and not raining and doesn't know what it wants to do. And I hope it doesn't lag too bad in this video. But until I see you again, bye-bye.